I want to show you guys the initial, the launch on here on red card. I'm going to mute them for a second, but then I'm going to play this out. Just watch how Miami just wins pretty much every gunfight for the first like 2 hills. They absolutely dominated them here on red card. This map sucks, dude. Red card is one of the worst maps I think I've ever seen in my life. But it's very easy to hold, especially if you're winning your gunfights. And you're trading effectively. You can really mount a lead on a team, which is exactly what they did. They kind of punched Atlanta FaZe in the mouth here, and it was just brutal. So just watch this.
As you can be seeing across the map, Abizi basically glowing, but maybe it is just the glow up, and well, we're gonna see exactly what happens in the roaming sort of outer steps fights while Atlanta FaZe maybe not gonna come out on top. Metals is gonna dominate it. Draza there is there for at least the cleanup crew, but HERETICS end up winning the break at least for the time.
Draza wins his fight, stays alive, keeps that outside of the map safe for his boys. They're now trying to keep the members of the HERETICS off of that for now, and that's ideal. Good kill there from Metals. Now pressure on the Simp, and he's got to look everywhere once again. This time, though, heads on a swivel. Can't get both. HERETICS once again, time and map control.
And yeah, considering the fact that Atlanta FaZe have just dominated the step side of the map, the fact that HERETICS have the 20-point lead, kind of impressive. You think you want the steps control, but they're showing off the goods. Of course, though, with how many of the kills have just been flowing the way of Atlanta FaZe, they might not have the lead, but they have the spawns for new, unless Metals just makes the play. He might go and take it from him.
Trying. Oh, this is a big move down steps. Rancor on the other side. The pinch is in. Are we going to see some heads turn here for FaZe? There's a good test. Checks the wrong corner, but teammates are there for the trade. Immediately, wow, what a move. HERETICS are in. Massive set of control here.
Yeah, make no mistake, you don't want the back spawns for very long, but to get them off the rip like that and just make sure you get those reinforcements in that much faster. I mean, HERETICS is showing off some of the fundamentals right now, and I mean, really taking Atlanta FaZe to task. Rancor there to cut off everybody. Sullium, the last player to fall, and now it is the back spawn dagger. Miami HERETICS, I mean, they're playing with their food.
Oh, yummy. A little bit of tap pass. Oh no, Simp runs right by Real. That's unfortunate. 3 down there for FaZe. Us boys up on the hard point. Yeah, old time, all good for Miami. New time, all good for Miami. Look at that scoreline.
This is the absolute dream. I mean, multiple 4-man downs that HERETICS have been able to accumulate. Once again, having the back spawns, which you don't want later in the hill, but at least off the rip, you want the extra bodies for it, and then set up the spawn traps. And right now, you got what? Simp and Draza, the only men that are out and about, but Real just handling that. He's on a 5 spree, and Simp maybe avoids the clean 4 down, and he keeps up the pressure on the pinch, but it simply does not last. HERETICS, this has been flawless so far on red card.
Herb red card so far. Well, into the stairwell we now go. Lucky holding his line. Real, oh my word, picks up a pinch, finds the pair, 3 of them actually in the stairwell there now. No one gets taken care of though. You've got hard point firmly in the hands of FaZe for a Mo. Counter attack on from the HERETICS.
So as you can see in those first 3 hills, there was a lot of gunfights being won on the side of the Miami HERETICS. You have Real, obviously 11-6 going off. Atlanta FaZe wasn't really winning any like meaningful engagements, and that really leads to this massive deficit that they're in. The only problem is that you know, Atlanta FaZe, they just looked a little bit discombobulated this map, and you'll see it kind of throughout little moments when you go back and watch this. They really just kind of shake it off, and they're fine for the rest of the series, but this map was kind of uncharacteristic for them. Hill to hill, it looked like a mess. Metals, Lucky, Rancor, Real, all doing a good job, playing very well. Their communications were up. It really was just a great map out of them. Probably some of the best hardpoint that I've seen played on this map so far in this game. This map's going to continue to get vetoed, and then if one of the other maps goes in, red card is out, trust me. So obviously FaZe starts to pick it up a little bit, but they did a fantastic job in those first 3 hills to kind of keep FaZe at bay. So now, obviously, it's 161-68. They've done a very good job. What I want to do is, that's another 3 dead from the side of Miami. What I want to do is I want to kind of get you guys into the listening with them so that you can hear how chaotic like the Spanish comms are. But just look how they continue to rally into this entire match. Just take a
look. With a quick listen in.
Está muerto. ¿Puedes decir que la jana exterior? No. Tira tú, vale. Hacia mí. Pega, es sujet, tú doble puertas, tú doble puertas. Van atrás, tengo que, tienes a medio en sujet. Tengo el medio entero. Vale, estoy jugando los 6. Para que sabes, cara. Tú, me voy a ir al exterior, te vienes a la liga.
¿Y qué? ¿Muerto?
Hay una liga,
remember exactly what he's saying, but it's Rencor, the man who seems to be constantly speaking here for the Heretics. Hell, what a break from middles, 10 seconds.
So there, I'm going to mute it for a sec. You just have 2-piece, 3-piece, 4-piece after piece. You know, it was just, they completely dismantled Atlanta FaZe in this map, and the comms were great. Obviously, it's hard to understand if you don't speak Spanish, especially in the last rotation that we just saw. Just super clean, back-to-back-to-back hills. It was just great hardpoint. It was fantastic hardpoint, especially with the way that they were communicating. If had they maintained that kind of level of teamwork, I think this series would have gone a little different. But again, just a great map went out of Miami. So we're going to move over to the S&D now. So obviously you see both of these teams, they weren't fantastic in S&D coming up until here. FaZe is usually a good S&D map, and with the addition of Draza, I think he's probably their best S&D player. So you had a 1-6 record and a 1-4 record for both, and Miami had lost 6 straight S&Ds up until this point. It's showing protocol, but it's actually a vault S&D. So we're going to go over to TAC maps, and I'm going to show you guys kind of the way that vault should be played, or is usually played by both teams. This map is completely very similar to protocol, but it is all about the A bomb site. If you can get into A, especially if you get a pick on your way in there, you're golden. Like, you're good to go for a while. So A is just one of those bomb sites that, like, as long as everybody just gets in, it'll be fine, whatever it may be. So usually what you'll have is somebody will obviously grab that bomb, and they'll kind of make their way in. What we're starting to see is 2 different pushes, especially this weekend. You guys will see it into the game. You're going to have one player kind of play this outer, is what I think would be the best play. Somebody can peek mid, but what you really want is just to get the information on whoever might be here. So you can have one person mid, but what they really want to be doing is to look at the information and see if they can get the info on the player who is on the other side of cat steps, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the call outs for you guys so that you guys can see. Obviously, you have this player who's going to be top ammo, who's going to be looking over, you know, P3, just that whole street, trips, looking top art as well, and everything else. So you have these players that will most likely be going into A, especially on offense. What you'll usually have, what people are doing now, before it was kind of like a weird retake from the outer. Usually you'll have kind of 2 players looking over. Gotta straighten these guys out. What's going on? Kind of have something like this. It's usually something like this, right? You're kind of giving up this site, especially if you just want to check to see if they're going to do an aggressive A. But what I've been seeing, especially on this map, is the one person does go steps, but these players actually go into the drop into vault. They actually get there really, 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 really quick. You can meet, just kind of like on protocol, where you can meet on the bomb site. This is really just drop in, get control of the room, get the bomb site. This player, if he doesn't see anything and the action starts going down, you start making your way. You know, you can play it slow, because sometimes you'll just have one of these players, you know, if they make their way back up, usually they'll try to kind of work mid, maybe come out these doors, so you do have a clear angle for all of this, and then you can play this kind of backside, work your way back over to pool, and help your teammates at A. This map is also very basic. If you're going to be doing a push where everybody is going B, again, you have somebody top ammo, but this is more of everyone's just kind of playing the outer. You want to give up the middle just so that you don't risk kind of losing a player. The main player here who would cause problems is whoever would be top art, and then everybody else would be reacting to a B move. So this map is also very basic. I feel like S&D is not super hard on this map to understand, or really this game. So we're going to see the highlights and the things that kind of led to the team winning this map.
It's one of the arcade machines.
So here what they're going to show is a pretty basic like A push, kind of like how I was explaining. They're going to make their way down to pool and then get into sight. BZ gets the first kill on metals, top cat. Real pushes it quick. This is a great play from Real because you don't want them to get control, especially of the entire bomb site. Lucky comes in, gets a big kill on BZ as well.
Yeah, look at that chaos. That's a nice little bounce.
Celium Draza kind of playing, gets great timing on Draza, and then that's a super clean round, super clean retake. Real saw that there wasn't really anybody that was going to contest him when he went pool, so he just went inside. He knows that there's somebody down there, so just getting that control. Probably didn't know that bomb was down. If he did, he probably called it. But that was just a great retake, and that's a perfect example of how to retake when people are pushing it. Again, S&D is pretty straightforward in this map, in this game in general, so you're not really going to see anything super crazy come out of these maps. Now, obviously, we talked about Kismet making the absolute worst play, but this is the best play of the entire tournament.
It's a 1v4, and it's soon to be over. Wait a minute, he's managed to make a meal of it. 20 seconds on the clock. Forward we go.
Oh my gosh. It's a breakdown.
Never mind. 1v1. It's a 1v1. Simp. Can he do it? Against Metals.
So obviously 1v4. It's insane. Let's break down why this happened the way that it did.
Now on the pinch.
Real and Draza get into a gunfight here. I'm sure that Real is a little bit hurt. Rencor has completely tunnel visioned to the player out on the back, which is okay because he's in a direct gunfight with Celium. So, because he's in that gunfight and they trade him out, Simp now has all the info. He is engaging Rencor. He knows that he got into a gunfight, Real did, with Draza at the top of ammo. You have a player who just traded out Celium, so he's closer to bomb. Last player's unknown to Simp. So he's going to get this kill on Rencor.
No, it's all down to Simp. It's a 1v4, and it's soon.
I mean, it's just beautiful. Real missed shots. Obviously, he probably jumped over him, and his bullets are kind of going on top of him. That's just a great double kill from Simp.
To be over.
This is a great nade. Whether you're playing hardpoint, whether you're playing control, those vans can be super annoying, and nades are going to either guarantee you a kill or whatever it may be. Everybody should be running Flak and Ninja if you have a certain class. Maybe they had Tac and Ninja, whoever this was, because this nade just completely takes Metals out. Or Lucky out, sorry.
To make a meal of it. 20 seconds on the clock. Forward we go.
Crazy.
Never mind.
Insane.
It's a 1v1. Simp.
So right here, if we kind of just back it up a second, he gets the kill because obviously both vans kind of smushed him and killed them both. Metals is looking the complete wrong way, right? Metals should be just kind of playing this back van. I think Simp said in the post game, he said that Metals could have just put his controller down, and I've never agreed with a statement more in my life. He literally could have just played, even the van behind him, the other one that exploded, he has the angle to the bomb. There's 15 seconds. He doesn't have to push out the way that he does. So Simp goes through. I'm not sure if Metals sees him here. It looks like he kind of does. Where Metals is looking, I have no idea. I think he really just got super nervous instead of just playing his life. He just needed like 4 or 5 seconds, and he was completely fine. Simp gets a very clean angle on Metals.
Can he do it?
There's just nothing. I mean, it's a great 1v4, but Metals kind of threw that away a little bit. That's just an easy 1v1 that you can win. Great 1v4, insane play, obviously. Super quick. That took like 10 seconds for a 1v4. It's awesome. But very avoidable, of course. So here we have another break off. Obviously, Miami has kept it close, even though after 1v4, a lot of teams do end up kind of losing momentum. But this is what I'm talking about. As you can see, these three Miami players are going to try to meet them at bottom A and just kind of take the gamble to see if they can win those gunfights. But unfortunately, it does not go well for them whatsoever. They get in and... I mean, the BZ just gets 3. It's just, it's super unfortunate. Obviously, you get the bad timings. Everyone was kind of stacking on top of each other. I felt like people were trying to bait. If we just watch this again, Rencor, he just kind of stands there instead of kind of sliding out. I think if you're gonna do this, everybody needs to take control of the point. Let's watch again, like who was kind of first. I mean, they get the sight lines. Yeah, that's a tough one. They stack, and Rencor, he just did a bad job of even getting one. Lucky comes over, gets swatted by Cell, just gets ripped off the heady. I mean, that's just a great round out of Atlanta FaZe. And then again, to close it out, it's just a BZ getting super hyper aggressive. Rencor is giving up a lot of map right here, gets through, sees Real, kind of backs out for a second. He's going to be playing this corner here. Draza gets one on metals. You know, BZ, he's just going to start flying around. They have a little bit of control of the pool side, but BZ just, I mean, Real needs to be a little bit quicker on that. Rancor's in a good position, but it's a hard retake, especially once they have control of all of middle and top cat as well. So once putting bomb down, which I disagree with because there's a lot of time. So the reason why you don't do that is because there's a lot of time left in the round. If you plant, now you're in a defensive position, and if somehow, let's say Rancor gets out and Lucky is able to get out of there, what Lucky should have done is, unfortunately, you have to put the bomb in kind of a compromising position. You have to go try to get a pick to make it at least 3-2. If you can go find maybe 2 picks and make it a 2v2, but if you plant the bomb, you're just putting Rancor in a bad position because they're going to push him out right here most likely. Lucky pushes out, Rancor dies. Now it's a 3v1. Now you're in a complete defensive position. It's just an easy trade, and that would be game. Atlanta ties it up 1-1. So Miami was 4-0 going into this control, and I don't really want to break down every single moment. I'd rather just kind of play this last round. This is one of Miami's best maps, and so if FaZe was able to push them to that round 5, you know that they're doing some stuff right, just kind of keeping alive. They have a man advantage here. They have 5 lives advantage, but it's really just kind of a breakdown on the side of Miami. They did a very good job of clutching up, and I just want to show you guys kind of this round and how it went.
You're right, mate. It came in BO4. It was his come up, and he was the man of the mode, and he still is. Second segment.
Wow, there you
3
go.
in the feed. Heretics back to spawn we go, and look at the white arrows on the minimap. You are now trapped. Heretics starting to dwindle. 30 seconds. The spree comes to a close. Celium, Skeet shoots Real from here back to spawn. And it might be an opening to get on the inside. No, another man down. FaZe still in control. It's pistols in a Rancor. Another 3 dead. 15 to go.
Well, John, I'm proud, man. Atlanta FaZe might have just had their defenses dialed in. Maybe that is going to be the secret recipe for them on vault control. Miami Heretics, it is a last-ditch effort to get this A zone, and then they're going to have 9 lives to go and capture B.
A chance is a chance, and they have got it. That's A done. 8 to 16. The lives may not matter if you can get the stack. FaZe, you fought so hard to get here. Heretics holding on to their record. Here we go. The car bomb. Simp down. Metals with 2, and here comes the stack.
Surely not. Surely not. Down low. There it is. Draza able to get it with the double nade kill rolling through. So many things started to go right for Miami, but not a trophy to be found. Now you get 40 seconds and 3 lives remaining and 2 lives remaining. Atlanta FaZe gonna get it done.
Oh, FaZe have done it. FaZe, the victory lap.
After a while, especially in that round, it kind of felt like, you know, like those nades, and then there were 2 occasions where 2 players died to nades. I mean, you lose 4 lives like that. It's kind of just a demoralizing thing, especially on your best map. FaZe did a good job of clutching up there. So, relatively uneventful series. I think the map score is probably more telling of, you know, anything, because then, you know, they're going to be going into this protocol hardpoint, and I know these 2 maps look relatively close. Like 6-3 isn't really close in SND. As you saw, it was kind of that same thing, a lot of bunching up. They just look like a completely different team on these maps, and this was their best control map. So you would think after winning a hardpoint, this would go, but again, usually once you get 1v forward, it goes down. Trust me, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. So we're going to move over into the protocol hardpoint. I'm going to highlight some moments for you guys, and then we will see just kind of how this series goes. We're going to play a little bit of this for their kind of rotation into P3.
They've got players nearly all over the place, but Simp marches through the front door. An absolute classic strategy. And he's caused nothing but problems. We're staying on board with Simp. This was a nightmarish
Look how clean the cleanup is. Now they know where spawns are, where they're going to be spawning this back grandmas. Draza's huge here.
Metals is 1 in 9. Might have a case of the sprints, not quite coordinated with his team. He's the first one to die on this engagement. You're looking for the break, but again, it's going to be a man
just clean. This is just clean protocol hardpoint right here.
A nice rotation there. 20 seconds out.
Draza doing a good job of staying alive.
P3. Now we know P3, an absolute
Cell choking.
hardpoint.
My
When it
gosh.
comes to the comeback, a money hill, if you will. Can you get a break here? Simp.
It's a big kill from Simp to open it up. Draza needs to come in and kind of help. He gets picked by Rancor. That's crazy. Good Abizi. So it's very mixy right now, but again, if you set up early, if you rotate early, you could get a full 50 on this. Simp, Draza getting kills. Now it's going to start getting ugly for them. Abizi's in a great spot right here because he's going to completely cut off this flank from Rancor, so now you know everybody can focus on front door and the side. As you can see, the amount of time that you can pick off of this hill if you play it right and you're getting all these kills like they are, that's another 3 dead. I mean, it's now 105 to 26. It's just going to be hard for them to get back into this game. So now we're going to kind of pick up on their listening. This is where I think the game just opens up for Atlanta, and Miami can't ever really recover from this. Metals is currently 3-16 in this map. It is just an absolute domination. Metals just isn't playing well. Lucky's not too far behind either. So I'm going to let you guys listen to this. Listen in. Great comms from FAZE, and just they open this map up completely, and there's just nothing that Miami can do to recover. So. So I just wanted to interject for a second because this is something that I think that a lot of players should know or should start kind of implementing into their game. When you are communicating with a teammate and a teammate gives you information, a lot of guys are going to say, oh, he's one shot. Like that kind of stuff is not as important as maybe I'm going to rotate here. I'm going to hit outer. You know, somebody come with me outer. Let's get this kill outer. If you give your teammate an acknowledgement of I hear you, which is said right here. I hear you, all right? Like, we're going to rotate, right? I hear you is one of the best things that you can do for a teammate because it acknowledges what they're saying. If you have a teammate that repeats something, that means you have to acknowledge them or they think that you can't hear them. So that gives your teammate kind of that peace of mind. So I'm going to keep playing this out for you guys. That's very important. Start doing that. It's going to help your team a lot.
Honest to God, yeah, dude, fantastic job. Sorry, not to cut you off, but like the blocking spawns callouts coming in from Draza in these moments were like perfectly timed to make sure even the guys off time are making sure grab back, don't let any funny business go.
So I'm going to mute them there for a sec. As you can see, you know, Simp just kind of getting into his bag here. Big kill on, oh my goodness, Metal's just having it rough this map, unfortunately. Continuing, I'm sorry, seeing that again is so crazy. These are pro players, like, my goodness. So, you know, Abizi, Simp, just putting so much pressure on these guys. If Abizi gets this kill as well, you know, that's a good kill from Metals, but I think it's a little bit too late. You know, they have the rotation. Again, Rancor, those are big kills from Rancor. Simp comes in, gets another one with the nade. Again, these nade kills are just super deflating. They most likely are going to continue to keep this mixy. Celium gets that trade there on metals. Real's going to try to push in, but I don't think he sees Simp. It's a little bit too late. 25 seconds left in the hill. You know, they're up 230 to 97. It's just it's too much. He doesn't know that Simp's down here. Simp's gonna probably get up this kill. Yeah, I forgot he does shit on him there a little bit. They end up closing this map out right on this hill. 240, 250, 297. You know, we got one last push out of Spiral, but it was too much. The 3-1 after the drop of the hard point, they completely reversed it on Miami's head. This was a very dominant series, I would say, from FaZe. It's